Hey guys, Erica with a K here. Today's video is basically my baby. If you guys have been here for a while, if you are my clients, if you've seen any of my work, or you guys have seen my YouTube, my Instagram, anything like that, you guys know that I am a gray hair specialist. I literally love transitioning people into gray. I love embracing people's natural gray. I love women empowerment and supporting individuality, and I love literally everything that has to do with women. So this video is definitely my baby. So this video, we're going to be talking about how to maintain your hair at home when you decide to embrace that gray. So there's a few things that I want to touch on before we actually get into like the meat and potatoes of this video. So first and foremost, I have a video where I show you guys how to do gray hair blending. In that video, I actually did it on my mom who's allergic to color, and therefore I could not tone her hair. Hair allergies is another big thing that I specialize in because I've seen firsthand the effects of it. So for anybody who's like, oh, this would have looked better toned, absolutely it would have looked better toned. Definitely tone your client's hair. That was literally just to show you a technique and how to do placement when it comes to gray blending. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about is the difference between gray blending versus kind of doing it all over gray. So this would really depend on, first of all, your maintenance, the time that you have, the money you want to invest into this, also how your hair grows, your natural gray growth pattern. And I think that's probably mainly it. So first I'm going to talk about the gray blending. So gray blending is a great option for people who have either naturally light hair or don't mind having like blonde highlights in their hair, people who don't want to invest literally like $800 to $1,200 in their hair, transitioning it from one to the other, and people who don't have a full head of gray hair. This is a great option. Okay, if you guys want to get into like the real, like we're committing to this full time, like you guys, like I don't want to color my hair anymore, then you guys are going to have to take the option of the full head of gray hair. This is something that you see on the internet a lot, where people are doing a platinum card, which means every single hair is in a foil. This is absolutely the way that you go about doing this. Somebody who's actually really skilled in this as well is Jack Martin. He did Sharon Osbourne's hair. She wound up coloring it back, probably because it does it is a lot of maintenance until you are 100% gray. So that's very important for people to know. I know a lot of people think like, I'm gonna go gray, I'm gonna embrace this, and I'm never gonna have to go to the salon again. Wrong. You're gonna have to go to the salon until that hair grows out and it's 100% natural. Even after that point, some people decide to come back in and throw some lowlights in because they're like, oh, it's a little too light for me. Some people feel that way. Some people don't feel that way. Or you can come back in and get a gloss, which won't permanently change your hair, but it'll brighten up your natural gray color. So there's a lot of options. Of course, you're going to want to get haircuts and stuff like that. You want to keep it healthy, but it's not the all over fix that a lot of stylists show us and make us believe it is. There's a lot of at-home maintenance that goes in it, and there's also a good amount of in-salon maintenance that goes with it. So the main thing to remember is that we are dealing with hair color. So as much as we're getting you to your natural color gray, which of course I'm going to show you guys some pictures of me doing that, it is basically a 4 to 6 week to come in and gloss your hair. When I gloss your hair, I basically just take whatever color I did on the ends and I just refreshen it. So think about when you guys did color your hair, if you guys did a box color or any kind of color, especially in the brown family, color oxidizes. It winds up fading. It winds up turning like a little bit of a wonky-ish, brownish color. Or if you guys did blonde highlights, sometimes it gets a little orangey, a little brassy. So that's totally normal. And because what we're doing in the salon is completely done with color to get you to your natural hair color, it is going to oxidize. Not only because it's hair color, but because of environmental stressors on your hair. If you guys aren't using proper heat protectants on your hair when you guys go home, I'm going to get into like all of this detail. I just kind of want to give you guys an idea of why this video is so important and why it's so important to say to people, because it's not fair to give you guys an expectation of come in once and you guys will be done. No, nobody's doing that. Nobody's going in somewhere once and being done. You guys have to maintain this color until your hair grows out 100%. So there's multiple different ways that you guys can do this. Again, this video is not for stylists. Like, I'm not doing this video to like tell stylists how to go do hair. I'm gonna have literally an entire class on my website talking about this. This is not the video for that. This is the video for anybody thinking about transitioning, anybody thinking about making that commitment. It is a commitment to be 100% gray. Now, some people just grow out their hair naturally, and that is so awesome. Good for you guys. Some people can't take that line of demarcation, that harsh line. So now let's talk about at-home maintenance. So the very first thing is when you first get your hair done, and I do want to say I do give everybody a list of at-home maintenance when they get their hair done like this, because I want to make sure that they got the best chance to have their hair be as good as possible. So the first thing is, don't wash your hair for the first 72 hours to like hopefully a week. You're gonna not want to wash your hair, because what we're doing in the salon is harsh. As much as I am a professional and as much as I use the best possible products and as much as I use protectants in the lightener, it's still a lightener. And even though I use the lowest developer possible and let you sit it out and sit there and slowly but surely get through this, it still is a lot on your hair. So what you're gonna wanna do is not wash your hair for the first at least 72 hours to a full week. You should never wash your hair when you first get it done, no matter what color you're doing, for the first 72 hours. So you're gonna wanna give your hair, hopefully, if you have it in you, a week for your hair to replenish its natural oils. And if you wash it too much or if you wash it too soon, you're gonna lose the color, and you're also gonna have more breakage. It's gonna be more dry. You're not gonna want that, so just trust me on that one. Number two is definitely purchase the shampoo and conditioner that's recommended from the stylist. A lot of people think that this is like a quick money grab, but like, let's just break it down honestly. I charge an hourly rate of $100 an hour. Just say you're there 8 hours, it's $800. Do you really think I'm trying to money grab you on a $30 shampoo when I just charge you $800? It's not a money grab. This is for you. You want to invest in your hair. The same way you buy a Porsche, you go to Porsche to get an oil change, is the same way you get your hair done from me, you get the shampoo and conditioner from me. It's because I know what's best for your actual hair, because I just spent 8 hours doing your hair, and I know exactly what you need for your hair. Also, I only use like very high quality things. There's no junk in my stuff. Everything is cruelty free. Everything is like free of parabens and sulfates, and you just don't want to go buy Suave shampoo when you just spent at least $800 on your hair. There's just no reason for it. That's it. And plus, shampoos and conditioners, when they're good quality, first of all, the conditioners don't weigh down your hair because they're good quality. Second of all, you don't need to use a lot because they're good quality. And third of all, you shouldn't be washing your hair every day anyway. You want your natural oils to help your hair. So it's going to last you a long time. It's definitely not a money grab. It is 100%. Let me put it this way. It costs us more to invest in the products to sell you than the profit we make on the products. So if that doesn't put it into perspective for you, I don't really know what's gonna. So I would definitely say whatever your stylist is recommending to you, buy it from your stylist. Don't buy it on Amazon. Again, I have an affiliate link. I could be like, go buy it on Amazon. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if it's expired. I have no idea. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I'm just being honest. Yeah, I could definitely be like, I'm not going to sell it in my salon shampoos and conditioners. Go through my affiliate link and go buy it so I don't have to invest and I get a profit from it. But no, don't do that. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know anything about it. You don't know if they're expired. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Trust me on that one too. As I had just mentioned, if you buy quality shampoos and conditioners, you don't have to worry about just putting conditioner on the ends of your hair and not touching your roots, because it's going to weigh it down, because good quality conditioners don't have silicones and like crappy products in it that weigh your hair down. Crappy shampoos and conditioners like a Suave or no, like I'm not coming after Suave, I'm just being honest, have things that just literally put a coating over the hair shaft, and they don't actually penetrate and they don't actually like help the actual hair. It's just putting a coating over it. So if you buy the recommended shampoos and conditioners, the way that you wash your hair is that you focus the shampoo on your roots and your scalp. That is the most important part. You don't have to do this throughout your hair. I promise you, you don't have to do that. Don't do that. However, the conditioner should go from root to ends. You want to make sure that you saturate it. Yeah, if you feel like the shampoo or conditioner is weighing your hair down, get a lightweight conditioner. That's important. If you have very thick hair and you feel like my hair is always so greasy, my recommendation to you is make sure that you rinse out in sections. So you're going to want to take your hair, lift it up, and rinse out in sections. If you've ever been in the salon, in my salon with me shampooing you, because I'm the only one who shampoos there, because it's my salon and I do everything, you'll notice that I put my finger in your hair, I separate it, I go in each crevice to make sure that everything gets out. There is nothing worse than when you have very thick hair. Well, there's a lot of things worse, but in the realm of what we're talking about, there's nothing worse when you have very thick hair and you think that you washed it thoroughly and you come out and it still feels like you have gunk in it. That's because you're not rinsing it well and you're not washing it well. You got to separate your hair. You have to get in there. Focus on your scalp, not the ends of your hair, your scalp. Okay, next is you're going to want to use the products that are not just shampoos and conditioners, but other products as well. So for example, I'll recommend a leave-in conditioner. You're going to want to use that at least 1 to 2 times a week. It's just going to help stay in your hair and condition. So what you're going to want to do is shampoo with the shampoo that I recommend. Then you're going to rinse out the shampoo and you're going to put the leave-in conditioner from root to tip. And then if you feel like you did too much, you could do a quick little rinse, but make sure you leave some of that product in there. All it's going to do is just protect your hair and it's just really good for your hair. I also have conditioners that double as a regular conditioner and a leave-in conditioner. I have another conditioner that doubles as a regular conditioner and a deep conditioner. So one of the more important things, this is like super underrated but very important, you're going to want to wash your hair with cold or lukewarm water. Very hot water, just as it dries out your skin, is gonna dry out your hair. When it dries out your hair, it can cause damage, it can cause color fading, it can cause breakage. You're not gonna want that. So if you're somebody who's like, I must take a scalding hot shower, okay, you can take your scalding hot shower, try not to wet your hair, and then just lower the heat a little bit. A lot of it, put like a lukewarm feeling, and then wash your hair out. And then I always recommend doing a cold rinse at the end. So a cold rinse is basically just going to close that cuticle and give you a little bit of like shine and pizzazz at the end. I promise it actually really works. All right, I know I definitely mentioned this, but you're going to want to limit your hair washing to 1 to 2 times per week. This is for your natural oils. The same reason why I'm telling you to wait 72 hours to a week to wash your hair in the first place is the same reason why you're not going to want to wash it every single day. You're going to want your natural oils to replenish your hair. There's nothing wrong with your natural oils. I know people are like, oh, my hair is oily. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Make sure that you don't wash your hair every day. A good way to get through the week with only washing your hair 1 to 2 times a week is stop touching your hair so much. So as many times as you flip your hair with your hands, all the oils that are on your hands are getting in your hair and it's causing your hair to be oily, more oily. You can invest in a good dry shampoo. I do have dry shampoos in the salon. That is not something that I'm going to push on you guys. Dry shampoos are preference. If you guys think that you found a better dry shampoo, by all means. But I do have a video telling you guys exactly how to apply a dry shampoo. I'll leave that down below. But basically, you don't want to put it in your hair and run through with your hands because again, the oils are just going to get everywhere. You guys can mess around with fun hairstyles if you want. Like a lot of people are on a schedule. Like day 1, I wear my hair down. Day 2, I wear my hair up. Day 3, I wear it in a bun. Day 4, I wear it curly. These are good options to do so that you guys can get away with not washing your hair longer. Yeah, have fun. Okay, this is a big one. You have to limit the amount of exposure to heat products as possible. So, or heat tools, I should say. So you don't want to blow dry your hair every day. You don't want to flat iron your hair every day, curl it every day, wand it every day. These are very damaging for your hair, especially if you guys are committing to the gray. Sometimes what happens is if you put something too hot on your hair, it'll burn your hair. You may not notice that when you had brown hair or black hair or red hair or any other color hair, but when you have gray hair, it's going to turn yellow and that means you just burnt your hair. So that is something that you're definitely going to want to try to stay away from. Any kind of heat, try to stay away from it. I do recommend if you guys are going to blow dry your hair to get a bristle brush instead of a metal brush. So one of them, the inside will have metal in it, which kind of acts like an iron. So it gets very hot from the blow dryer and it's only going to cause more damage to your hair. A bristle brush, a bristle brush. Okay, that's a tongue twister. You know what I'm saying. You guys can literally just do like a quick Google search. You can get it from literally anywhere. Amazon, Sally's, they're everywhere. Those are the 2 brushes that you generally see. So a bristle brush is not going to, I can't say it, is not going to damage your hair as much as one that has metal on the inside would. So that is something to be aware of if you guys want to blow dry your hair. I know when I had long hair, I never liked letting it air dry because I always felt like it looked very flat. I just wasn't into it. I also have an entire video on heat protectors. Sorry, my brain is everywhere. So it kind of goes hand in hand with this. So always put a heat protectant in your hair. Again, you should buy the one that your stylist recommends. I will definitely recommend one to you guys. You're going to want to spray from root to ends. You're going to want to brush it through your hair to make sure it saturates everywhere. If you feel like this is weighing down your hair, take a bristle brush and just blow dry the top of your hair and let the rest of it air dry. That's totally fine too. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you let, for me at least when I had hair, if I let it air dry, it would feel very flat, very blah. But if I just blew dry the top of it, it was much better. You can let the rest of it naturally dry. You're going to want to stay away from hot tools, like I had said, a straightening iron, a curling iron, a wand, stuff like that. However, a lot of people think, I'll say to them like, oh, do you blow dry your hair every day? And they're like, no. And I'm like, how is your hair so damaged? And they're like, oh, I iron it every day. And it's like, okay, basically you're doing your hair every day. You're applying heat to your hair every day. If you didn't put a heat protectant on your hair when your hair was wet before it dried, you're burning your hair. You're literally exposing it to all that heat. Like, think about how it would feel putting that on your skin. You would never do it. It would give you blisters. Why are you putting it on your hair like that? You have to protect your hair. So that is super important. And you also just want to limit the use of this. I would definitely recommend like getting rollers. You can get the rollers that you could sleep in. I know it sounds like an old school idea, but you could do it with wet hair, literally go to sleep in it, and then wake up the next day and your hair will be like fine. So I would definitely recommend something like that. It's going to take a little bit of practice because you don't want to get fishtails at the end when you like roll it the wrong way. It'll definitely take practice. You guys will get better at it. But not hot rollers, just regular like sponge rollers. They'll be fine for your hair. If you feel like you need to have some like pizzazz to it, but try not to apply heat to it. And if you do, please make sure that you always use a heat protectant. Even if you're letting it naturally dry, use a heat protectant. A good heat protectant will also protect from the environmental stressors, the sun, from just the toxins in the air. It'll literally protect from everything. And you want to give your hair the best chance you got. You just invested in it. So make sure that you do all these steps. Again, well, actually, I don't think I said this. If you're like, oh, I didn't spray a heat protectant in when I let it air dry because I don't really care, but now that I'm going to iron it, I'm going to put a heat protectant in it and then I'm going to iron it. Make sure that that heat protectant is 100% drying your hair. You will burn your hair. Do not apply any kind of straightening iron, curling iron, wand, any kind of anything to your hair without making sure it's 100% dry. You do not want to burn off your hair. You'll see it smoke. You'll smell it. Don't do that. Make sure that that heat protectant is dry in your hair before you go in with any kind of hot tools. But again, try to limit this. Did I make that clear? So another like reason why you wouldn't want to apply heat so much to your hair is because it can also affect the color of your hair. It can kind of like pull it out a little bit, and we want this to remain as vibrant as possible. So I had already mentioned the heat protectant. The other thing I wanted to talk about was if you feel like you have to blow dry your hair, which I totally understand and I'm not shaming you for this. Again, if you're only washing your hair 1 to 2 times a week, you shouldn't be blow drying it more than 1 to 2 times a week, of course. And try not to like continue to use tools like hot tools on your hair every day. Like that's a big no-no. So if the only way that you won't have to use hot tools every day is to wash your hair more often and blow dry it, then wash your hair more often and blow dry it. Hot tools are really not so great for your hair. But anyway, if you are going to blow dry your hair, make sure you use a low heat setting. One of my biggest recommendations is instead of going in right away with like soaking wet hair and just going in with a brush, you can let it air dry a little bit, put your products in, let it kind of sit a little bit, or just take the blow dryer and aimlessly blow it at your hair for a while. You'll notice if you've ever been to the salon with me that I will sit there and blow dry your hair. You'll probably feel like it's aimless for a while, but what I'm doing is trying to get your hair to like 80 to 90% dry before I go in with a brush so that I don't have to over blow dry your hair with the brush, because that is way worse than just letting your hair kind of dry a little bit, get all that moisture out of it, and then going in. First of all, it's way faster, and second of all, it's way less damaging to your hair. But make sure you use a low heat setting if you do decide to blow dry your hair. Also, if you're somebody who like needs kind of curls in their hair, don't be afraid to try to blow dry it with a round brush. So my biggest tip is if you want looser hair, the bigger the barrel. If you want hair that is a little bit tighter in curls, you're going to want a smaller one. A great tip for this is to always hit it with the cool shot on the blow dryer. So you guys have probably seen the cool shot and you have no idea what it's for. The cool shot actually sets your hair in place. So think about if you've ever put rollers in your hair, hot rollers, you don't take it out until they're cooled. Same idea. So you would blow dry your hair regular, and then when you do the curl, you'd hit it with the cold side so that it'll kind of hold it in place. that's what it does. So we're kind of getting a little bit more into styling, but I want to like tell you guys your best way to get your hair to be great. If you're somebody who's like, I'm Erica, stop. I'm definitely 100% applying hot tools to my hair, whether they be a curling iron, straightening iron, or whatever it is. My recommended settings to you is if you have thicker hair, stick somewhere between 300 to 350 in the heat setting. And if you have finer hair, like, you know, if you have fine hair, I would recommend sticking somewhere between the 250 to 270. You just don't want to burn off your hair. You also don't want to hurt your hair. You don't want to rip that color out. You want healthy, beautiful, shiny hair. So just those are my recommended settings on your irons if they have them. Okay, this is one that I've definitely touched on, and I feel like a lot of stylists kind of overlook this one and don't tell you this until afterwards. But maintenance for this is every 4 to 6 weeks. You're going to want to come in for a gloss just so that we can tone down those unwanted colors and we can liven up or brighten up the colors that you do want. So glosses are very important. And if at your appointment with me, if I feel like we got to freshen this up a little bit more than just a gloss, that'll be the time to do that. If you feel like, no, I'm loving my hair and I don't need a gloss, feel free to push that appointment out. But there is going to be maintenance at some point. Just a fair warning. So when your color does start to oxidize or change a little bit, whether that be because of the heat you're applying or because of just life, it may not be your fault, it may just be life. Just know that, like, I'm giving you fair warning, that will happen. And maintenance is not nearly as time consuming or as expensive as that first initial appointment to get you to where you want to be. This is actually, I wasn't planning on saying this, but like, make sure you find a stylist who specializes in this. Please do not go to somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. There are fantastic stylists who literally can give you the most gorgeous brown blonde highlights in the world, but they have no idea what they're doing when it comes to gray, and that's okay. We all specialize in something different. Make sure you find somebody who specializes in this. I'm actually going to tell you a quick story. I had a client come in who said that her previous stylist, who she loved, used 40 volume on her head. Now, I know this is kind of like stylist lingo, so it may not make any sense, but just to kind of give you an idea, I use 10 volume. The highest there is 100 volume. She used 40 on her head. That is like very high. And that's because a lot of people don't anticipate how long the surface is going to be, and they just want to like zap it out of your head, and it's like, no. That will cause breakage. That'll just break off your hair, and it's too high of a volume to have true control over the color that's going to be. I use 10 volume so that it's slow, it's consistent, it gives me time to properly do everything, then go back and check each foil to make sure it's lifting appropriately. I rinse out each foil as I need to. I'm very much on you like a hawk during this appointment. There is no 40 volume. I'm not in a race with time. You shouldn't be either. You want it to come out right. So make sure you find somebody who specializes in gray hair. I specialize in finding or matching your gray growth pattern. That's something that I just love doing. I know a lot of stylists do fantastic work, but all of the clients' hair look the same, and it's all like highlight, low light, highlight, low light. So it's like gray, black, gray, black, gray, black. No, I don't do that. Your hair is very much your natural growth pattern. I want to make sure that it's as low maintenance as possible, and we get you to as close to your natural as possible so you can see if you like it. Some people decide like, hey, this is too gray for me. I kind of want to break up some pieces with some lowlights. Can we do that? And I'm like, yeah, it'll be a little bit more maintenance, but yeah, we could definitely do that. We'll do whatever you want to do. It's your hair. So that's important. Finding an artist who not only you trust, but whose work you like. There are fantastic artists out there that you might love their work, but it might not be suitable for you and your needs. So make sure you find that. That is something that I wasn't going to say in this video, but I actually feel like it's very important. Okay, and this is my final tip for gray hair. This one is kind of irrelevant to like this time of year, but maybe not for everybody. For me it is because I'm in New York. But if you like to swim, if you go in the water, this is so important. So your hair literally soaks up whatever it touches first. So when your hair is dry, whatever it touches first, it's going to soak it up. So make sure it soaks up a mixture of water and conditioner, or also known as a leave-in conditioner. So if you have a leave-in conditioner at home, you're going to want to put that in your hair before you go into any kind of chlorinated water, seawater, anything like that, salt water. You're going to want to make sure that you spray this on your hair first. So what you're going to do is, if you have a leave-in conditioner, which if you purchase products from me, you will, you're going to want to put that in your hair. Then you can go in the water. If you don't have a leave-in conditioner, you're going to want to take your regular conditioner, put it in a spray bottle with some water, shake it up, and spray it on your hair before you go in the water. This was always a trick that I knew growing up because I had curly hair, and curly hair is fragile, so you want to make sure that you protect your hair before you go in the water. So you would always spray a mixture of this leave-in conditioner, homemade leave-in conditioner. This is also a great tip for anybody who has, even if you have blonde hair and you feel like, oh, it's getting a little green. Yeah, that's probably why. So you're going to want to do this before your hair goes into the water, before your hair touches anything. You're going to want to spray this on your hair to make sure that you protect your hair. I would recommend don't dip your head in the water, but I know it's kind of unrealistic, especially if you've ever seen me in the water. I'm doing cannonballs off the diving board. Like I'm not keeping my head above water. So I totally understand if you're somebody like that. Spray your hair first with some leave-in conditioner or conditioner and water mix, which makes leave-in conditioner. Again, you're going to want to saturate your hair with this mixture. And the other way I can kind of say to think of it is, think about like if you go to the beach and you're laying out and you're like, oh, I don't want to go in the water and get wet, so I'm just going to spray my body with this water to kind of cool myself off. Think about it the same way with your hair. Bring a spray bottle with you and be like, oh, my hair is kind of getting dry and like in the sun and stuff. Let me spray some of this mixture on my hair. Don't let it be something that like weighs you down. Like, don't feel like it's like this annoying thing. It would be the same as putting sunblock on, or like I said, spraying yourself with some water or whatnot. So, you know, your hair is just important as your skin. You know, you want to give it the best chance you got, and you just invested in it. So anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys liked this video. Thank you guys so much if you guys have watched it through. If you guys are looking for a stylist, I am in New York. I am in Putnam County. I will leave my website link down below. You guys can 100% book a consultation if you guys aren't sure if you definitely want to go through with this. Come into the salon and we'll chat about your hair. If you guys are like, yeah, I'm set on this, there are services on my website that literally you click on it, and I think it's called Gray and Fashion Color, and it'll literally show you all the times and days that are available. You guys can pick from the list, and then you guys will be all set. I hope that you guys find a stylist on this journey. I hope you guys, if you're on the fence, find the strength in you to do what you want to do. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. If you guys have any other questions on gray hair or gray blending, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I'd love to answer questions on this. I love doing this. If you're a stylist, again, I am going to have a class on my website, which basically does step-by-step on how to turn people into gray. It's something that I've been doing for a while now, and I absolutely love, and I love talking about it and teaching about it and doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna have a class. It's all virtual. So I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Until next time, work hard, dream big, eat cake. Bye guys.